Hans Niemann, one of the most controversial figures in the chess world. While he's undeniably talented and has rapidly climbed the ranks with some impressive victories, it's the allegations of cheating that have made him a household name for all the wrong reasons. From suspicious online games to heated accusations at the highest levels of chess, Hans's career has been overshadowed by scandal. Despite his confident, sometimes even arrogant demeanor, and his clear skill as a player, these controversies have sparked intense debates across the chess community. The accusations didn't come from just anyone. They were leveled by chess icons like Magnus Carlsen and hikarunakamura, adding even more weight to the suspicions and turning this into one of the biggest chess scandals in recent history. Today's game took place at the 2022 World Rapid Chess Championship, a tournament renowned for its intensity. Players compete in 13 games over just 2 days, with each game having a time control of 15 minutes plus a 10-second increment. In this match, Hans Niemann faces off against another rising chess prodigy, Volkydov Shamsuddin from Uzbekistan. Both players have reached the 12th round, and the grueling schedule is beginning to take its toll. Fatigue adds an extra layer of difficulty to this encounter. But the real question is, can Hans prove his critics wrong and showcase his true potential under pressure? Hans initiated the game by advancing his pawn to d4. His opponent responded by moving his knight to f6, followed by pushing his pawn to d5, aiming to gain firm control of the center and open a path for his light-squared bishop. Intending to contest the central squares, Hans countered by developing his knight to c3 and his dark-squared bishop to f4, employing the Jobava-London system, a strategic opening popularized by the Georgian grandmaster Badur Jobava. Black then swiftly reacted by launching a direct assault on the center with the move c5. Although the most common move in this position would be pawn to e3, Hans opted for a more aggressive approach by advancing his pawn to e4. Volkydov cautiously accepted the challenge and captured the pawn, leading to a trade of knights. After Hans recaptured the c5 pawn, offering an exchange of queens, Volkydov, recognizing that trading queens at this stage would put him at a disadvantage in terms of development, wisely declined the offer. Instead, he maneuvered his queen to deliver a check on a5. Hans promptly blocked the check by moving his pawn to c3, prompting black to capture the c4 pawn. Although it appeared that white was now down a pawn, Hans executed a similar maneuver to Volkydov's and captured the e5 pawn after black moved his knight to c6. Up to this point, both players were following established theory, allowing them to play their moves quickly. Volkydov then chose the h8-a1 diagonal to develop his dark-squared bishop, playing the move g6. Hans responded by developing his knight to f3, and black continued with his plan, placing his bishop on g7. At this point, Hans was playing with extreme confidence to the extent that he wasn't even looking at the chessboard. Without much thought, he developed his bishop to e2, preparing to castle his king. However, what seemed like a routine move turned out to be a critical mistake. On the other hand, Volkydov was visibly surprised by this move, trying to determine whether he was missing something or if it was indeed the blunder he suspected. After careful consideration, he spent over a minute before finding the winning move. Bishop takes c3, delivering a check and sacrificing his bishop. The problem for Hans was that he couldn't capture the bishop with his b2 pawn, as this would allow black to take the c3 pawn with his queen, followed by capturing the white rook on a1. Realizing his error, Hans decided to defend against the check by moving his knight to d2. With remarkable precision, Volkydov took another minute to find the best move in this position. Rather than succumbing to the temptation of capturing the b2 pawn, he made the optimal choice, bishop to f5, attacking the white queen. At this point, white's position was completely lost. No matter where the queen moved, black could simply capture the b2 pawn, followed by bishop to c2, which would result in white losing his rook. Seeing the inevitable outcome, Hans decided to resign after only 12 moves. With more time on his clock than when he started the game, Hans was visibly frustrated. He even left the board without resetting the pieces, leaving his opponent and the arbiter to do it for him. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you won't miss any future content.